This is Philadelphia 76ers Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. It is NBA draft night, but as expected, the Philadelphia 76ers not making their selection at 23rd overall in the first round. They traded it away, and coming back to Philadelphia, a pretty solid bench piece and role player in De'Anthony Melton. Here are the trade details. We knew going into draft night that Daryl Morey could have looked to wheel and deal, clearing up some salary and maybe trading away Matisse Thybulle. Now, that's the missing piece in this. Matisse Thybulle has not been traded away, and right now, you get rid of Danny Green's expiring contract at $10 million. Melton is making about $8. If you trade away Matisse Thybulle, that clears up some more money to maybe sign P.J. Tucker in NBA free agency. But here are the trade details. Philadelphia 76ers trade away that 23rd overall pick as well as Danny Green to the Memphis Grizzlies. And coming back to the Sixers is De'Anthony Melton, a former second-round pick out of USC who last year really did have some positive moments with the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the best upstart teams in the NBA. Played alongside Ja Morant and was a very good rotational player who can knock down some threes. He's not afraid to shoot, has a little bit of wiggle, can put the ball on the floor just a bit. You get a little bit younger and more athletic with De'Anthony Melton, and with Danny Green, veteran leader, 3 championships throughout his career, won a natty at UNC. His veteran leadership is certainly going to be missed in this locker room, but because of that knee injury that he suffered in Game 6 of the second-round series against the Miami Heat, wasn't going to be available until around the All-Star break. So a couple of pluses there for Philadelphia, looking to improve that bench. One of the big calling cards that the Sixers needed to answer going into the offseason, and De'Anthony Melton can certainly help there. As we continue to break this deal down, I want to hear from you in the comment section right now. Grade the trade. Do you like it? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comment section. And while you're down there venturing to the comment section, make sure you subscribe to the channel by hitting that red subscribe button down below, or in a separate browser, go to youtube.com/76erstv. Our offseason coverage only getting started. It's draft night tonight. We have you covered with a video just moments after this trade was made official. A week from today, NBA free agency gets underway. It's a pivotal offseason for the Sixers. You don't want to miss anything, and we have you covered every step of the way. Just make sure you subscribe. So as far as De'Anthony Melton, last year with Memphis, nearly 11 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, shot about 40% from the field, and about 38% from beyond the arc. He can be a microwave scorer, and at times, Memphis had relied on him to be a go-to guy as one of those third scoring options when either Ja Morant wasn't playing because he missed a lot of time, when Desmond Bane went a little bit cold, or they needed that spark plug player to come in off the bench and give the Grizzlies a little bit of that scoring output. And that's exactly what the Sixers need, right? This bench unit simply wasn't good enough, and that's why that series with the Toronto Raptors didn't end up being a sweep, because I don't think the Sixers were deep enough. It was certainly a glaring need for Philadelphia going up against a team like Miami. Not only were they well coached, not only did they have the best player in the series in Jimmy Butler because Joel Embiid was injured, but they were able to wear Philadelphia down over time because that second unit for the Sixers really was lackluster. They were certainly thin, and they lacked that scoring punch. And that's what De'Anthony Melton can bring to the table. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Has some pedigree. He was drafted out of the second round by the Houston Rockets, started off his career with the Phoenix Suns, last couple of years has played with the Memphis Grizzlies, and gives you something that Philadelphia needed: athleticism, some quickness, and a guy who can create a little bit coming in off the bench, but is not afraid to rise up and knock down some three-point shots. So if you're familiar with Melton, I want you to get into the comment section. If you don't know him as a player, then let me know in the comment section. And this is why you subscribe, because I'm just educating you on who De'Anthony Melton is. But what do you think of him as a player? You're in the shoes of Daryl Morey. How would you grade him on a scale from 1 to 100? So I'm interested to see what happens from here on out. James Harden, according to reports, is going to opt back in for maybe a 1 or 2 year deal. I don't think it's going to be a long-term max. I think it's going to be anywhere between 1 and 3 years. So you have him coming back. You trade away Danny Green. You clear up just a little bit of money. Do you move Matisse Thybulle now in addition to this acquisition here to further clear up cap space. Now, if you do that, you are losing a two-time all-defensive player and a guy who, outside of not being able to knock down threes, is an elite-level defender. If that's the case, you got to find a way to fill that void. Could that void be fulfilled by P.J. Tucker? And if that's the case, and the reports are true from a guy like Keith Pompey, that the Sixers are going to offer P.J. Tucker about $10 million per year, there's another move that probably has to happen. That other move could be Matisse Thybulle. And it would make somewhat sense because, look, long-term view, it hurts losing Matisse Thybulle. In the short term, though, you do get a very good defender in P.J. Tucker who has guarded Giannis at times, who has guarded really good wings like a Jason Tatum, and has gone up against Kevin Durant as well. Now, as I said, it is draft night here all across the world, and for all of you tuning in, I greatly appreciate it no matter where you're watching from. For all my Philadelphia homies tuned in, thank you so much. Me coming from the Westchester area, it's been great to see all the support. Well, if you want to support some of these draftees, or if you want to support the Sixers or support us, get your hands on these NBA draft hats. They're available in this style as well as dad hats. All you got to do, chatsports.com/NBA draft hats, multiple styles available for all teams out there. But if you're a Sixers fan and you're a real one, you probably want the Sixers hat here. You can find it chatsports.com/NBA draft hats. That link available in the comment section and the description of this video. So really, to round things out, it's De'Anthony Melton coming to the Sixers. First year when he's that second round pick, 5 points per game. Following year, as he's played the last three with the Memphis Grizzlies, 7.5 points, goes up to 9.1. Then last year, nearly average 11 points per. And we've seen the three-point shot get a little bit better. Now, 2 years ago, on nearly 4 attempts per game, he connected on 41% of his triples. Last year, on 5+ attempts per game, it was at 37%. 9.5 field goals per game, and outside of that, he can give you some steal production. Every year since he's come into the league, he's averaged more than a steal per game. And last year, at that guard position at about 6'4", was giving you about a half block per night as well. So this is a winning player who can play a lot of games, can be a spot starter as well. 15 starts last year with Memphis, 73 games played, and he's been consistently available throughout his entire NBA career. Again, the main emphasis here, you needed bench production, you needed athleticism, and honestly, youth. This guy's only 23 years old right now, or coming off his 23 age season, so he's still a little bit young. And while he's making about $8 million per year, you need more athleticism, you need more spunk, and honestly, I've talked about this a lot, you need more mental toughness on this roster. And Melton is a guy, when I watch him, when I scout him, he ain't scared at the end of the day. If you're still watching up to this point and you're subscribed to the channel, hopefully I convince you to sub to the channel. I want you to get into the comment section and type 76 for our beloved Philadelphia 76ers. And by the way, make sure you subscribe. If the Sixers make another move tonight, we have you covered. Whatever move they make throughout the entire offseason with free agency a week away, we're going to cover it here on the channel, and we have you locked and loaded with year-long Sixers coverage coming from a guy who grew up in the Philadelphia area and loves this basketball team. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/76erstv. Appreciate all of you for tuning in, and keep it locked for more Sixers coverage right here on 76ers Now.